What's going on, you guys? Today's video I wanted to show you how to take apart an Xbox Series S. I do want to go ahead and start out by showing you guys the toolset I'll be using by Strabita. T8, a T10, a nice little flathead, some tweezers, and a pry tool is all you're going to need for this. And now usually on this backside you will have two little pieces that you will have to pull off. That's what the tweezers are for. I don't have this, so I'm assuming somebody else got into it, but that's no problem at all. So you want to take these two out. Then you want to lift up, like so. You can take this back panel off. Nice and easy. So we'll set this aside. Next, you want to look, see how these green screws, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to take your T8, or your T10, my apologies, and you want to go ahead and take all these out. Next, after you have all these out, you want to take it on the back side like this, and you want to, as you can tell, all I did was push out and pull down. You'll go ahead and you can take this entire piece out. Next, have our fan, a little dusty. I'll clean all this up, of course. You're going to start out grabbing your T8. And this right here is actually your Bluetooth chip. So I'm actually going to set it on it. These are really easy to take off. All you do is pop out. As you can see, that just slots in like that. So set that aside. Next, you have your power button. Luckily, all these boards match, so you don't have a problem with anything like that. Same thing as just pulling up right there. And now remember, this is using a T8. And then same thing here. Just do a little bit of prying. This is where you could use your pry tool just to try to be a little bit more careful rather than ripping from one side. And you can just sit there and twist it back and forth. Pops out, easy as that. Take out these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws. Once you have all these out, you can set that aside. You'll come from over here, and this should lift up like that. Nice and easy. Set this aside. First, you got your power bank. This actually just lifts up. So do a little bit of twist and wobbling. It pulls up nice and easy. Be careful with this. Try not to get any dust or anything like that on there. Set this aside. Ooh, our fan. Look how nasty that thing is. Let's go ahead and get that pulled out though. You should just be able to lift up just like that. That thing is disgusting. We'll clean that. Set that aside. So this is usually where most of you guys are going to be taking this apart, unless you have like a broken HDMI and you want to resolder a new one in or something. As you can tell, it is a bit dusty, so I would definitely do a deep cleaning just using 99% isopropyl alcohol. Now, if you do want to go further and you do want to replace the thermal paste right here, really simple. Take something like this, and you have this locking piece. That's right here. All you want to do is you want to get from under it, and you want to lift up. Just like so. It pulls out. Next, we are going to come on this back side. Now, if you guys don't know, this is going to be the X clip. You want to flip it over, putting your hand right here whenever you're flipping over. And this will come apart or be able to lift up. You want to lift up and pull out. Set this aside. Make sure you don't get no dust or anything like that on the thermal paste. Now, we have the best thing in the world for Xbox. You want to go ahead and take your flathead. You actually want to stick it apart right here. I'll zoom in for you guys to be able to tell, so you guys can see what I'm doing. You want to wedge it in right here, and you want to lift up, just like so. And then doing the same for right here. There we go. Pull that off, flip it over as a C. You can simply pull straight up. This is where you can replace your thermal paste. As you can see, mine is pretty crusty, so I will be replacing this. But that is all it takes for you guys to be able to disassemble your Xbox Series S. Alright, now moving into the reassembly of this Xbox, I already reapplied some new thermal paste. To remove the old thermal paste, all you need is some Q-tips and some 99% IPA. Whenever you're laying down your heatsink, you want your gold pipes facing towards you, or, as you can tell, facing towards the back of the motherboard. Go ahead and lay it down to where they all four insert like that. Go ahead, taking our X-clip, all you're going to do is just latch these behind the four pegs coming up from the heatsink. Just make sure you have enough pressure on all four corners, along with pressure being in the middle. This just ensures that your thermal paste is actually going to stay in place. Taking our shield piece from earlier, you want to go ahead, take your motherboard, lay it in with the ports facing in first, and then you can lay it down, as you can see here. Go ahead, take your safety clip. As you can tell, you can see how one side of it is kind of got that edge to it. You're going to have that match to the same corner over here. And all you're going to do is just place it on top and put a little bit of pressure on it. Once you have your safety lock in, keeping pressure on the heatsink with your left hand or right hand, whichever you're using, as you can see here, you want to go ahead, grab the four screws that you had used previously using a T8 bit. Putting a little bit of pressure, you don't want to tighten each one by itself. As you can tell here, I'm going back and forth, making sure all four are tightened at the end. Next up, we're going to go ahead and put our fan in. If you go to put your power supply in right now, you're not going to be able to plug in your fan. So go ahead and do your fan first. Just making sure it's pushed all the way in. I will show you what it looks like when it is pushed all the way in. And it should look a little something like this. That's how you know you have it all the way in. Next, we're going to go ahead and grab our power supply. And as you can tell, just matching it up, you can see where it's supposed to plug in at the bottom right, and also you have your port at the top left. And this is pretty easy. You just simply set it on top, put a little bit of pressure. Grabbing our vent cover, you're simply just going to set it on top, putting a little bit of pressure on the top, flipping it over, and we're going to go ahead and reinsert those 9 screws that we had used previously using a T10 bit. On camera, these screws look more silver. In person, you'll notice they have more of a gold hint to it. And I will go ahead and show up a screen. You can go ahead and pause here to where you can see where they all go. After you have all 9 screws reinserted, we're going to go ahead and plug back in our 3 boards. We're going to go ahead and start with our power button. Simply goes on the right side of the console. And this just uses 1 screw. We will be using a T8 bit for every single screw for these little boards. Next up, we'll go ahead and take our Wi-Fi chip. Same thing, just put a little bit of pressure, make sure it's plugged all the way in, and this will use 3 screws. Next, we're going to go ahead and do our Bluetooth chip. Same thing, pressure, also going to be using 3 screws here. Once you have everything tightened down, it should look a little something like this. Next, we're going to go ahead and take our main cover piece. And as you can see here on the console itself, you see the USB port. You will be matching it up on the USB port hole. You don't have to be perfect whenever you're first putting it in, because as you will see here with mine, you simply just pull the sides out a little bit and you'll watch it latch in place. Now we'll give you a little close-up of this one as it's giving me some trouble. There we go. Now that we have this piece in, we're going to go ahead and reinsert our last green screws. You should have a total of 7 of these screws. So I will show you a picture again. You can go ahead and pause here. Go ahead and get all these in. Now let's go ahead and put our final piece back on. You're simply just going to slide this into place. If you remember disassembling, all you did was pull up and then out. So same kind of concept here. You're going to be pushing in, however, and then down. You should see that everything should line up. And then we will have 2 screws right here that are going to be using a T8. And then also, like I said previously, my console did not have the 2 little stickers that kind of go right there. If yours does, go ahead and reinsert those. And that is officially how you disassemble and reassemble your Xbox Series S. This console is probably one of the easiest I've done so far. So 10 out of 10 to Xbox on this one. If this video helped you out at all, drop a like, subscribe, comment, let me know if you're having any issues. I can try to help you out. Thank you guys for watching.